who were these people out to smear Chuck Furman? And why did Kay Rogers decide she was going to step in the middle of a fight for Butler County Commission? I mean, I certainly think Rawnica Dillingham, Racino, Wilson, Dillingham on a stick's ego is big enough to accommodate 6 personalities. So maybe all 6 of these supposed witnesses were all hurt. But the real reason of what of staying on this case, what this resulted in, was that we found out that not only was Kay Rogers a terrible judge of character, which if you read our blog, Weapons of Mass Discussion, found at massdiscussion.blogspot.com, you will see what a horrible record Rawnica Dillingham has, Kay Rogers' best bud. But also, you will see that Kay got charged in an FBI investigation with fraud, which is where we were headed when we went to the break. So go ahead, Matt, with that.
Now, we're going to pick the story up here over at Buckeye State Blog. This is Modern Esquire's work. I want to stick that up front because he, as I said in the last segment, manages to describe this situation better than anybody I've seen yet. In 2004, County Auditor Kay Rogers signed documents on behalf of a now defunct corporation called Dynus regarding a fiber optic network that already exists in the county that is going unused. The problem with the documents she signed is that they were later used by the company to obtain millions of dollars of loans that the banks, based on the documents signed by Rogers, were made to believe were guaranteed by county government, even though the county commissioners had yet to authorize any such deal with Dynus Corporation. County Commissioners President Charles Furman reported the forged documents represented to the FBI and publicly blasted the county auditor for signing the documents, which allegedly were delivered at her home from someone on behalf of Dynus for her signature. Now this is 2004.
Yeah.
She's up for election in 2006. The Butler County Republican Party failed to endorse her based upon, I believe, because I wasn't there, based upon this story.
That makes sense. Because they had obviously endorsed her 5 or 6 times previously.
Exactly.
Right? Because she runs every 2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, note that there has been no word on any development in the FBI investigation since then. Now, when I first met Chuck Furman, gosh, when was that? 4 months ago?
Something like that.
He hadn't heard anything in any development on the investigation either.
Well, let's talk about who called for the investigation. Who was one of the people that called for this, that saw this stuff hitting the fan and saw something wasn't kosher?
This is the Dynus thing.
Yeah, the Dynus thing. Chuck Furman reported this to the FBI because he sees what's going on and he's like, this is not right. Something here is not right. Now, I don't know what it is, and I think the FBI should come in and straighten this out. And so,
why would you go to the FBI for this?
Well, because it's a felony. I mean, it's a federal offense to forge documents. You're talking about millions of dollars here.
Okay, I guess I'm surprised you don't go to the county prosecutor first.
I'm not. I think Chuck, because Chuck has a 30-year veteran. He's a 30-year veteran of the police department in Hamilton. I think he knew right away. This is bigger. This is a bigger deal.
All right, fair enough. All right, that makes sense. Okay. I mean, it sort of makes sense. I guess why wouldn't the Butler County prosecutor's reaction be, "Geez, Peasel, why am I not involved in this?" Or the state attorney general, for that matter.
And again, we're talking about some stuff that's predates my knowledge of what's going on in the Butler County GOP political world. I would venture a guess that because it's an all Republican county,
Yeah.
that Chuck felt it was probably smarter to bring in a totally independent group to look at.
Well, I don't disagree with that. I mean, you know, part of me is wondering why didn't the FBI say, well, that's nice, after you know, figure out what things look like in Butler County, you know, call us in. Well, you know, in other words, after you deal with county prosecutor types, you know, call us in if you think a federal law's been broken. Well, maybe it's obvious that there's a federal law involved here. I mean, that would be the key.
You're talking about telecommunications first.
There you go. All right. Well, then maybe because it's telecom, the FBI can jump in.
You're actually talking about bank fraud here.
Okay.
And wire fraud. That's FBI.
Okay. All right. I just wasn't crystal clear on that, and I mean, just an interesting leap from you know, the middle of a suburban county to the FBI. So anyway, go ahead.
Now let's give a little bit of background on our good friend Rawnica Dillingham, Wilson Dillingham, Racino Dillingham. Again, this is Modern Esquire's piece because once again he handles this better too. In her 2003 application for a position as clerk for the county commissioners, she lied on her application and claimed that she graduated, not just graduated, but graduated summa cum laude.
Well, you know, if you're going to do it, go full bore.
From Miami University, and was currently a student at the University of Cincinnati. Now, the facts are this. The facts are, although Dillingham had been a student at Miami for 5 years, she never graduated.
Ouch.
Furthermore, she has never attended the University of Cincinnati. In January of 2004, Dillingham supposedly resigned her position with the county commissioners to pursue a position with the mental health board.
As a patient?
There should be, given her history. I mean, the more you delve into this woman's history...
I mean, but go ahead. I mean, no. So she applies for a position at the mental health center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, with the
board.
With the board.
However, a memo from the county personnel office at the time said she resigned rather than face discharge, following reports that she improperly solicited political contributions from a classified employee. Now, let me translate that. What that's about is, at this time, she was the finance director for the executive committee of the Butler County Republican Party. She engaged what's called a classified employee and said, we want you to donate money to the Republican Party, which is a big time no-no.
Oh,
this
of course.
Is exactly worse than what she's claiming Chuck Furman did with the golf outing thing.
For sure.
In the little 5-minute meeting. This is blatantly worse.